5 tips not to get screwed on your first wholesale or flip deal. Now you might think these 5 things that we're going to be talking about are obvious. However, it's amazing to me how many investors don't think of these or just forget about it in different situations. Remember, some of these might not apply to you in the area that you're at, in the state or in the world. So let's just jump right in. Now, the very first thing that can cause massive devastation in a property is not having the AC or heater work in your house. If you're going to be playing investor and inspector, depending on the time of the year, you may be able to simply turn it on, click the button, turn it on, and see if the air conditioner works. However, if it's below 50 degrees, you're not going to be able to check out to see if the AC works. So it's very important to have a qualified technician come check that unit for you. Now, if it is over 85 degrees, it's going to be really hard to test the heater to see if it works. If there is any worry about this, even if you have a qualified inspector come out, make sure to put it in the bid that you're going to completely replace the furnace and the air conditioner, whether it's one unit as a heat pump or it's a completely separate unit. That alone can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. We were out on a job just the other day and we knocked down a wall. We didn't know that when the flute comes through the floor, that if you want it to come up and go horizontal instead of vertical, you have to change the unit from a regular unit, an 80% unit, to a 90% unit, which is a high efficiency unit. That one fix ended up costing almost $9,000. So please remember to add that into your bid. Take it into consideration if you don't think the unit's going to be working, or if you're going to be moving the vent. If it's in the ground, or the flute, if it's in the ground, go downstairs, see where it comes through the walls. And if you're planning on pulling out some of those walls or removing, please make sure and take that into serious consideration. Number 2, when it comes to the roof, make sure there's no sagging in the roof. When you walk along the side, if you can see little sags like this along the roof, that means you're going to literally have to pull that entire roof off all the way down to trusses, which is going to be a massive, massive expense. If it's an asphalt roof, you're able to go down to the bottom where the rain gutters are and peel it up and look to see, okay, there's only one layer. But make sure on that little rain guard, the little drip edge or the skirt, make sure and peel that up and look under there to see if there's any other hidden layers under there. And then poke your finger under there and then get a screwdriver and lift up even further under there to make sure there's not more layers under there. Now, code here, you can't put more than 3 layers on a roof. Every area is different. Make sure you know what your code is in the area to see if either A, you can just put on one more layer of shingles, or B, if you have to tear the whole roof off and put a new roof on. That's going to be the difference between, $4,000 to $5,000 to just throw another layer all over the entire roof, or tens of thousands of dollars if you have to tear all the way off down to the trusses. Number 3, if the house is on the market, you need to ask the agent if right now the house would be able to get an FHA loan, or does it have to be cash? And the reason why you need to do that is you need to understand who's going to be purchasing the house right now. If you're going to be able to have buyers be able to get an FHA loan for this house already and it would appraise, well, then you're going to be bidding against people who want to live in the home and are not going to be trying to flip it. Therefore, they're not going to be looking for a profit in the property. So you're going to be fighting against people that it's going to make it very, very difficult for you to be able to get the property. Now, if you don't think the house is in a condition that it's going to be getting a loan on the property, you're only going to be fighting against other investors that are going to be trying to do the exact same thing as you. Now, this is very, very important because you need to know your competition when you're going in to purchase a property. If the home has been sitting on the market for more than 2 or 3 days and it doesn't have offers on it already, you need to seriously put the brakes on and think, okay, there's other investors that have already seen this and there's other first-time home buyers that have already seen this. What's wrong with the property? If you're serious about this, you literally need to be the first person within the first few hours on the property, ready to go, bam. Otherwise, if it's a good deal, it's going to get pulled off the market super quick. Number 4, know how much your money is going to cost you. Now, this applies to people whether you have your own cash or you're going to be getting hard money, because you need to know how much you're making on your money. So, for instance, I just spoke with someone just the other day on the phone, and he said, I've got a hard money lender already lined up. I said, great, well, what percentages are you getting your money at? And he's like, that's a great question. I need to make a phone call. I said, at that same time you talk to him, make sure you know what your terms are, how long the money is available for, what percentage you're getting at it, is there any prepayment penalties, what is the terms that you're looking for on this money. So when he called me back, we found out that it was going to cost 2 points up front, which means 2% of the entire loan. So if it's $200,000, it was going to cost $4,000 up front plus 10%. Now you have to be able to estimate how long do you think you're going to be working on this property for. If you think there's only a few things you have to do and it's going to take a month, great. Plan on 2 months because everything takes longer. If you think it's going to be 4 months to 5 months, if it's a really big remodel and tons of work going on, make sure and plan for 6 or 7 months. Add those costs into your final profit statement. That way you know how much it's going to cost to have all of that money in there. And remember, when you're going through your expenses, make sure you have a section that goes over unexpected expenses, such as mold remover, moving the HVAC vents or electrical wires. Literally, each of these projects can cost thousands of dollars, and they're going to seriously eat into your profit. And number 5, this is the biggest one, I think, overall. Trust your gut. If you're in the middle of the negotiations and your gut tells you to get the freak out, you need to listen. How many times in life have your intuition told you to get out of a situation and you didn't, and you ended up either losing money, getting screwed, huge headaches, it just took forever? Just listen to your intuition. Now, if it's butterflies because this is your first deal, okay, that's a little bit different. That said, what other questions do you guys have? Post them down below. Let's get a discussion going. I'm here to help you get your first wholesale, investment property, rental property, whatever I can do to help, I'm here. Go ahead and watch that video right there. See ya.